This is Blind Ham News with stories of interest to blind and visually impaired hams. With today's report, here is Steve Bauer, W0QA.
Welcome to our podcast. We've got 3 interesting stories this time for you. We're going to talk about some of the changes happening on a couple of the nets on the All-Star Blind Ham Bridge. We'll hear from Simone K6DXN about his involvement in Parks on the Air. And we'll also hear from a volunteer for Be My Eyes. As the new year begins, we're having some minor changes happening with some of the nets here on the All-Star Blind Ham Bridge. And one of them is that the Wednesday night Blind Hams net has been discontinued. And Marvin W5MRR, who has been a net control on Wednesday nights, is going to be coming on Saturdays. And he's going to be doing something a little bit different on the Saturday morning Blind Hams meeting, or net, if you will. Marvin, tell me about what you're going to be doing and when that's happening and all the information.
Well, on the third Saturday of every month, since we're shutting down Wednesday nights, the third Saturday is open, and I took it. And for a long time, I had kind of wanted to do some kind of a trader's net on the bridge. So Neil, K8IT, mentioned it about the same thing, about doing some kind of a swap and trade net. And of course, I jumped at it. I've listened to the ones on 75 and 40 for many years. And I thought, maybe if you have an old handy talkie or just something laying around that you got it and you thought it was a good thing when you did it, but now you kind of would like to get rid of it, maybe trade it for something, sell it. We'll be open. So as we run the net on the third Saturday, there'll just be a little extra reminder in there if you have something to sell or if you want to buy something or trade something. As you check in, just give us those listings, and that's kind of what we're going to do on the third Saturday. We'll play with that and just see how it goes.
All right, so what you're saying is the trading of equipment and stuff for sale is just going to become part of the net. It's not going to be the entire net, right?
Exactly. We're gonna just incorporate it into that third Saturday morning net.
All right, and the third Saturday in January will be the 18th. Now, will there be any logging or keeping records of these items for sale or trade, and will that be posted anywhere if people want that information a little bit later on?
I can. What I think that I can do that, and I may do it, but it's not. I don't want to make a lot of work for everybody or myself, either one. So I may have a note taker around, and that as people list items, just write them down and see where it goes.
All right, Marvin. Well, we appreciate the information. We'll look forward to hearing this on the third Saturday as you host the new net on Saturday morning. Again, that's at 10 Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on the Blind Ham Bridge.
All right. Thanks, and 73.
Now, another change that's happening with the nets. The Look at This, the net all about smart glasses, was on Thursday nights. And, of course, we conflicted with the first Thursday of the month with the Blind Tech Net. So we couldn't do it then. And if there was a Tech Zoom on the second Thursday of the month, we conflicted with that as well. So since Wednesday opened up, the Look at This, the net all about smart glasses that I host, along with my alternate net controls, Julian, N1CA, and Rob, KB6DA, we're moving that to Wednesday evening, 8 Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So that's a little bit of a change that's happening with the nets here on the Blind Ham Bridge. There's a lot of different kinds of activities in ham radio, and POTA, Parks on the Air, is becoming very popular. And Simone K6DXN has become involved with POTA. Here he is to tell us about his activities.
I have a quick story I wanted to share. Thought it was worth sharing. I recently met a new ham up here, just got his call sign, and I met him at a POTA event. Parks on the Air, for those who don't know what that is. And he's on fire for the hobby, which kind of got me fired up again. And so I'm Elmering him, and I get to live out a ham radio bucket dream, which is he wants to go do POTA on regular and start activating parks, and that'll get me out of the house, someone that can drive, and somebody that's interested in doing something like a nerdy POTA event, and doing a lot of them hopefully in the near future. So anyway, his call sign, for those who are interested, is Kilo Oscar 6. Gotta quit procrastinating, GQP. His name is Jeremiah. Really nice guy. We've been hanging out, practicing CW, and hey, you Elmer a new ham, and a lot of times you make a new friend. Thank you.
With so many people getting the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses and using them for so many new and different things, Be My Eyes has stepped up to the plate and have now incorporated the Meta glasses into that system. And it is really cool to be able to use your glasses hands-free and talk to a volunteer. I'm talking with my sister Gail, who has become a volunteer for Be My Eyes. And Gail, what was the application process like when you decided to become a volunteer for Be My Eyes?
Super easy. All I had to do was go on the app and then sign up, and then that's it. It took a while to get my first call in, but after that I've had several ones now that I've done, and I really enjoy doing it.
What has been your experience in taking the calls? I mean, what are people wanting you to help them see and do?
It's been very positive. Most of the calls are people wanting to know what kind of canned food they're looking at, or things in bags that they're looking at. A lot of them get grocery delivery, and sometimes they can't tell what they've received, so I help that way. It's very short and sweet, maybe a few minutes each at a time.
Have you had anything that you've been asked to do that you have not been able to identify or help with?
No.
Another interesting question. Some people have said some of the volunteers like to sit and chat. Have you had any of the people want to just talk to you for a while?
No, I really haven't. Usually once I give them their answer, they're very kind and they're like, thank you, and that's it.
Okay, very good. Well, hopefully you'll continue to get calls from people and be able to continue helping people out, because I think Be My Eyes is a really cool service.
Oh, yeah, I really enjoy doing it. It's one way I can give back, and it really doesn't take a lot of time and energy.
All right, we'll keep checking in, and maybe one of these days when I call in, I'll get you.
There you go.
Have a story or information to submit for the podcast? Send it by email to blindhamnews@gmail.com or call 662-426-6397. That's 662-HAM-NEWS. Thanks for your help.
I'm Steve, W0QA, and that's the report this time. I hope you can join me again for another Blind Ham News podcast. 73, and thanks for listening.